You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optobotanist truly has the touch.
Video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Deluxe class Sergeant Kup, part of the Robots in Disguise line. Now, in addition to taking a look at this guy as a 2-for-1 sort of thing, we're also going to look at this, which is the AM-20 Ironhide figure, which these figures share exact same molds, except this one comes with the armed Micron, and honestly, more people than not really are saying that this is the best figure to get. Kup is a green version of Ironhide. Now we'll get into that a little bit more later on. We're kind of focusing on this packaging right now. As you can see, it does include a DVD. I'm not 100% sure what episode that is. I can see loose cannons in there, and I'm trying to remember what episode that was. It's not coming to me, but I'm 100% sure that somebody's going to leave a comment down there and tell me what it is. So it's really cool that they give a full episode on here. You can see a green vehicle. I mean, it's Kup's coloring basically. Flip around here on the back, Transformers Prime, you got the truck mode, snap-on cannons, coming up to the top, and it says, there's a rumor among younger Autobots that Sergeant Kup is laser-proof. He has a habit of walking calmly through even the thickest crossfires to deliver advice or encouragement to raw recruits cowering under cover. The bots that serve under him think he might have a screw loose somewhere, but they'd still gladly follow him anywhere. And now, I mean, obviously that is a very Kup sort of bio. You see his tech specs here, and it definitely says that his courage is a 10, which is very applicable for this guy. I mean, he really is a tough dude. The character of Kup really was kind of as a replacement for Ironhide, so it really stands to make sense that we get a repaint of him as, well, Ironhide. And as you can see, you can definitely see that the color, at least in my opinion, works so much better. But this is the packaging for the AM-20. Flip around here on the back. You got a whole bunch of bio stuff that I can't read. You gotta look at his arms Micron, things like that. Flip around over here, image of the actual figure. But that's really it. So, like I said, 2-for-1 deal here. So let's get these guys open and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have Sergeant Kup and Ironhide open up and out of their packaging. And as you can see, vehicle mode is actually really solid looking, although it is a little bit small. A lot of people have really kind of complained about the size of this guy, but that's something that we're kind of getting used to. A lot of these Transformers are scaling down. Especially for a pickup truck, this guy is definitely fairly tiny. But you know, honestly, it doesn't bother me all that much. I mean, yeah, okay, prices are going up. Figure sizes are kind of going down. It's just the way that the world is going. You know, Transformers 10 years ago were cheaper than they are today. Transformers 25 years ago were cheaper than they are today. And even 10 years ago. So prices increase. It's just something that is a natural trend, I suppose. But here you have Kup, and as you can see, really nice coloring on here. It definitely gives a very Kup kind of vibe to it. You got the green, you got the kind of lighter, not really neon green, but like a yellowish kind of green. And definitely looking like, well, a Kup colored vehicle, I suppose. Now, as I mentioned, I really do think that this mold was originally designed to be Ironhide. And when you look at the Takara Tomy version, you can see that the red coloring, and here's his arm Micron, we'll get to that here in a minute. As you can see, the coloring is so much nicer, at least in my opinion, as an Ironhide character. Combine that with the fact that, well, we got a Cyberverse version of this guy as Ironhide. It really kind of makes more sense that this mold would be used for Ironhide. Now, these bits here on the side, these are stickers, and you know, you kind of push them in there, kind of get them going around the edges. You got a back section here, which is a sticker. There's a couple other stickers. You got an Autobot logo here. There's a Autobot logo there. On his feet, there are stickers that you'll see more in robot mode. So in terms of the coloring on here and the stickers, this really does a beautiful job of coming across as Ironhide. Now, both of them do have weapon storage, but the arm Micron is way too big to actually store on Ironhide. You can't really do it on the back there's unless you do it sideways, but then that looks really weird. You do have to put it on the side at least for Ironhide. Now, Cup has those holes as well, but you can see his weapons store a lot better on the back, and they can also store on the side as well, but obviously it's going to look a little bit better here, because who really has vehicles that drive around with big giant cannons sticking out of the side of them? I mean, I don't see it, and I live in California, and we're weird out here. Now, the biggest problem that you will see in vehicle mode is this gigantic hole that goes all the way through, and both of these figures have that. When you have this on here, it kind of doesn't even hide it really all that good. I mean, because they're directly on the side, so that hole is going to be there no matter what, and that's really kind of unfortunate. But it's not an overly terrible flaw on the figure. The only real kind of big, huge fault that I have is these. I don't like these holes on the side. I think they're kind of ugly. These aren't nearly as bad as we've gotten on some other figures that really kind of destroy the look, but I'm just not a big fan of them, and both of them have them, so it's an issue, I guess. It's a personal preference that I don't particularly like. Oh, one other little bit on the stickers. He has chrome stickers here and here, and then he's got a nice kind of dark, almost gunmetal gray chrome sticker here, but that's about it. Now, for transformation, now what you want to do, go ahead and remove these guns. I'm going to use, obviously, Cup, because this is the one that most people are going to have. Take this section here, you want to lift this, fold that up just like so, and then you can separate these out to the side, just like that. Kind of fold these in, do that on both sides. Bring it around here. Now you have to kind of, this is really kind of tough. You have to really, at least on mine, the ball joints are really stiff. Kind of fold it out like that, and then you're going to take this section, it's kind of hard to see, this little round bit right here, you want to bend it, and it's really tough to do. There we go. Well, it's not actually that round bit, it's just below it. You can see right here. So rotate that all the way down, separate this, rotate these down and around. Then these feet, rotate these out, rotate them out again, fold them forward, do that on this side, rotate that, fold that forward, kind of position those and straighten those out. Coming up to the top section, take this section here, fold this all the way up as far as you can, kind of angle these down and around towards the back. I like taking these and sliding these out just to kind of get them out of the way right now. Rotate the fists around, then take this section here. You kind of have to lift and push this to make this fold all the way back like so. And then you're going to see two little hole sections here on his chest, here and here. And then on the underside of this section, there are little tabs. So you have to actually fold this, keep these all the way out. And this is kind of a pain. You have to slot this over and then bring these in, tab those in there. That looks right. Fold this down, and honestly, this is how you're supposed to leave it. This is Cup transformed, and you got this big stupid thing. Now a buddy of mine, oh here, straighten these arms all the way up like so. Now a buddy of mine, Deadman something, my friend Manny actually showed this in his video review. You actually take this, and if you pop this off, I mean, you can push it all the way back, kind of like that, but that's about it. You can actually pop this section off. It's just on a little friction joint, and then you can actually rotate this. It adds an extra step on there, but when you do it, it lays all the way in the back, and that looks so much better than the actual official transformation. And then you bring these little guys up here, you peg those in here, and peg them in here. Now they are actually kind of a little bit loose in here, and you can actually have him hold them if you want in his hands. It's really kind of up to you what you want to do. This is definitely more of an Ironhide look, if you ask me. And as you can see, there you have Cup transformed into his robot mode. Now when you get them both in robot mode, you can definitely see that really this looks like a green version of Ironhide and looks more like Ironhide. So what I actually do, I get rid of this, I take these, and now at least on mine these are even a little bit more loose in here, or on the actual Ironhide figure. I mean, it's very flimsy. I mean, very flimsy. I can put a little bit of super glue or clear nail polish, and that'll tighten that up and make it a whole lot better. But you can see this just works so much better when you look at it as this being Ironhide and this being Cup now. I mean, especially when you put those guns on here. Now, for Ironhide, he comes with an arm micron. Now, I have a couple problems with this one. Number one, the little jewel that's supposed to fit in here doesn't fit. And mine actually broke while I was assembling it, and that's one of the problems that I hate with these things. To transform him, he actually transforms into a really kind of cool looking dude. If I could remember how to transform him. Okay, so we're going to fold that around. This leg, as you can see, instead of giving this a regular peg, it gave it two separate sections, and when I was actually removing this from the actual sprue section was attached, and you can kind of see it on this side where that little white bit is. The sprue section is actually attached here. Stretch that out just like so, to the little flimsy tiny bit on here. So it broke it, and now his leg is broken on here. But at least when you do this and you can tuck this around and go like that, at least doing so will allow him to still kind of stand. But here's his little arm micron, which actually transforms into kind of like a Target Master looking guy, which I really like. I do dig this one. I got his stickers on here as well. And as you can see, because of the little back piece right there, I mean, he will actually still kind of stand up, but that's really kind of unfortunate. So setting him off to the side, he's really kind of pointless if you ask me, because I use his weapons with this guy. Now, actually fiddling around with Cup a little bit more, I kind of came up with this little idea. We're going to take this, we're going to keep that actually in the proper configuration, and I'll pop that right back on there. And then this, I leave this actually unattached and keep this folded down like so. And then this I'll kind of just, I mean, you can position this up or whatever you really want to do. I mean, whatever you really actually want to do. But this I actually kind of dig here. I'm going to try folding this in just to kind of close this off a little bit more. There we go. What the hell did that tab into? That was really weird. So basically you're just left with this. You just eliminate the step where you separate that and fold that over, but leaving it like that gives it a different look to him that kind of differentiates him a little bit more from looking like Ironhide. Now the only other problem is his head is exactly the same. When you zoom in, you can definitely see that the head sculpt just really looks so much more like Ironhide than like a Cup figure. So when it comes to Cup, this is really how I display him. Now, one of the minor problems that I have is that he really doesn't have much of a heel on the back, so he kind of, unless you keep the leg positioned properly where he's completely standing up like this, you can see he wobbles. He kind of wants to fall back a little bit, and that kind of sucks, and that bugs me. But I do really like both of these figures. Now, if I were to pick one or the other, I would definitely pick Ironhide. Articulation wise, when you come to the head, it is on a little bit of a ball joint, but these shoulder bits on the side really kind of get in the way. Obviously, you're not going to have that problem with him. The shoulders here are on ball joints, but they don't go back all the way because the wheels, they move in and out. Ball joints here, oops. Ball joints here at the elbow, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Ball joints here at the hip, forward and back. They also rotate at the upper part of the thigh. He bends at the knee. And then there's a little bit of pivot here in the foot just as part of the transformation, as I said. But both of these figures are actually really very nice. My personal preference really is towards Ironhide, just because I really like the character. I think that the mold is more designed for Ironhide than Cup, and I think the colors just work so much better on this guy. Either way, you don't really go wrong with the figure, and you could very easily just take this guy and repaint him if you don't want to pay the $40 or whatever that the Arms Micron version really costs. Now for a size comparison, setting these guys over here you have Ironhide and Cup, and here you have Wheeljack, who, as you can see, is about the same height. So in terms of the deluxe class figures, they're fairly consistent so far. Even though this guy being a truck really should be just a little bit taller and just bigger overall in general. Now to transform him back, we're gonna do it with Ironhide this time. I mean, it's the exact same transformation. I just feel like transforming Ironhide. So go ahead and remove these, set those off to the side, take the wheels, the feet, fold those down, fold them out, then fold them inside. Do the same on this side. Gotta be a little bit careful to get it to fold back into the cavity. And then here's the stickers. You got some more stickers on here on his shins, and then like I said, you got the Autobot logo right there. Go ahead and bring these around like so, and then tab them together on the bottom section. Take this, kind of pull and loosen this, fold this back. Now if you rotated this around, you're obviously going to have to flip this around, and because I did that, I'm going to have to. Then tab this down underneath there. Take that section, bring that down, and again, you can do that with here, or with Ironhide here, if you want to kind of give them that same kind of look. Lift this up, get this out of the way. In this section right here, you're going to fold this all the way up, and then bring the legs down just like so. Go ahead, take these. Actually, I like doing this, lifting these up, because that gives you some clearance for these wheels. Go ahead and rotate these around, separate these. Bring that around, and then this just kind of slots on the side right there. Do that on this side as well. Bring that up, keeping the wheel obviously pointing outward. Bringing that in, tab that in like so. Bring these down, push them in all the way. Bring the, I guess I should have brought that down sooner, so slide that down if you haven't done that yet. Bring this back. These are going to slot over here, tab into place, and then they come around here. Now this can be a little bit tricky to get these to line up and push all the way down. Just give it a good little squeeze, and then there you have it. Make sure you straighten out the wheels and such. And here you have Ironhide, or Cup, back in his truck mode. Now regardless which version you actually choose to get, both of these figures are very nice. Vehicle mode is a very solid looking truck and definitely represents both of these characters fairly nicely. Obviously the coloration on him is a lot more Cup accurate, whereas this one has a lot more of Ironhide going. So again, depending on what character you really want, either or looked very nice. The only real problems that the vehicle mode has, like I said, is this whole thing right here, and then the little ARM micron ports, which both of those are just kind of minor nitpicks that could they probably fix if they engineered it a little bit better? Probably, but I'm not going to be too bad on that. I'll just pretend those are like gas tank things. And when it comes to the transformation, it's actually really fun to do. It's very simple, but it's pretty satisfying when you get all the way through it. Neither way, going to robot mode or going to car mode is really all that difficult. So it's definitely fun to do over and over again. And with this little alternate way of transforming Cup, I really think that this helps make this character kind of stand out on his own and be more of a Cup figure and not just a repaint of Ironhide. Which, when it comes to the robot mode, in my opinion, is clearly what the designers intended. They intended this mold to be Ironhide, and then Hasbro got a hold of it and they made it Cup because they're not releasing Ironhide in the United States. Coming to the accessories, they're pretty cool, except Cup really wins on these because these guns are so much better than this. I do like this, don't get me wrong. This is the first ARM micron that I actually like, except mine broke, so that really kind of sucks. But the bottom line is that this is a win no matter what character you get, be it Cup or Ironhide. The only problem is you're probably going to pay about $20 more to get Ironhide, which in my opinion really isn't all that bad. Importing these from overseas, that's generally the cost that they're going for, so it works for me. You just really have to decide, do you want Cup or do you want Ironhide? And that being said, I hope this video gave you a good look at both of these guys and kind of help you with any kind of decisions you may have. So until next time, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.